Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This time on the Kindness Project, hashtag NannyAnn, lockdown literacy, and we have part 2 of our interview with Deana Gao. Hi Charlotte, welcome to the Kindness Project.
Hi,
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so we're doing something a bit unusual with all this coronavirus stuff going
This
on.
corona quarantine has really got us changing our format.
Changing our style. So what you're about to listen to is a live version of the Kindness Project that we did on Facebook Live, and we're aiming to do one every single day until either we go mad or the quarantine ends. We haven't decided how we're going to put these out yet, whether we're going to publish them a bit more regularly than our normal ones,
Yes.
but we're still deciding on that. But for now, first ever live episode of the Kindness Project,
Yes.
and we'll let you know what's going on with the Kindness Project as we come along. But you can actually, or you might actually expect a little bit more nonsensical offerings from a madman and his daughter over the coming weeks. We have got an interview today because we've got part 2 of the interview with Deana Gao, because we thought it was really important that went out, and enjoy the show.
Yes.
Hey, it's working.
Nice.
Morning, how you doing? Morning. Welcome, nobody at the minute, to the Kindness Project
It's a bit early.
podcast live. It is a bit early. It's a Sunday morning. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's a good day.
It is a good day.
It's sunny. I got some sleep.
Did you? Yeah. We've got a garden.
We've got a garden.
We can pop out and see people in our garden. Apparently,
Do a lap.
we can run around the garden. You know what? We are lucky because we've got the county park just opposite, and I went for a run a couple of days ago, and literally there was nobody there. So I was like, I am socially isolated, just running in an open field. So it's all good. It's all good. Should we do the intros?
The formatting formalities.
Yeah, exactly. I am joined by a girl who I love very much. But if she coughs once, she's going to live in the shed. It's Charlotte Dames.
And I'm joined by the quarantine king of working at home. It's Chris James.
Right, you know what? I've started working at home on a Friday. Okay, I'm sort of getting my head around it, but I don't know how I'm going to cope with all day working from home. I genuinely don't.
I don't know how I'm going to cope being at home all that time.
I know.
I don't leave other than to go to school, and now it's just poof.
I know. We'll whatever happens, I'm sure we'll get used to it and we'll get over it. So yeah, it's all good. So just to let you know, the format of the show, which is a little bit different to a normal unlive Kindness Project podcast, is slightly different. We've got some topics to talk about.
Yes.
I want to ask. Question of the podcast stays as it is, clearly, because that doesn't go.
Stay. Woo.
The introduction stay. Topics. We've got 3 topics that we're going to talk about. Not kindness related, just stuff.
Random.
Just random stuff. And actually, we put these in a random word generator just to give
not
us.
the second one, but.
Yeah. And then what I want to do is talk about some of the amazing work that small businesses are doing in this relatively difficult time.
Yes.
That's called Small Business Shout Out. So we'll be talking about some amazing stuff that people are doing to help. I want to talk for thanks to Dave Forsdyke, who started sharing with me, knowing that we were going live today, a little segment called Silver Linings, talking about again the great stuff that people are doing. So we're going to do that. I'm going to share one of our previous episodes that might be useful, in particular the people we've interviewed over the...
Yes.
How long has it been now? 2 odd years of the Kindness Project we've been doing?
52 times 2. Yeah, over 2 years.
Just over 2 years. We've interviewed some amazing people in that time, and what I want to do is share some of the stories of people we've interviewed, so we'll do that. And then what we'll do is we'll answer the answers to the question of the podcast. So do you want to share what the question of the podcast
Okay.
is?
I was going to say this week's question of the podcast, and now I realise we're going to be doing this
This day's question
every
of the
day.
podcast.
So today's question of the podcast is, what are you grateful for?
Yeah, what are you grateful
Yeah,
for?
that's it.
I am grateful for family.
Yep.
I am grateful that the sun's shining.
Yep.
I'm grateful for this really good coffee.
Yep.
What are you grateful for?
I am grateful for having you guys.
Yeah,
I am grateful for having a warm bed.
yeah.
And having... Oh, hello. And
I'm not grateful for the dog because he's making too much noise at the minute, but
I'm grateful for having that massive chunk of books down the end of the house.
yeah, our little library.
Which I now know includes the Odyssey, which I will be cracking into.
Yeah, can we just say for the people watching live, morning Mike, morning Tess, morning Serena. Mike's grateful for not having a cough, and he's also grateful for his lovely daughter.
Yes.
I'm grateful for my lovely daughter, but if you have a cough, genuinely, I'm gonna get a big white tent and like everything. Like,
Oh, it's fine. We can lock you down the garage.
why am I going down the garage?
We don't have to play D&D down the garage. We can play it at the table.
And morning Serena, and we are recording this on Mother's Day,
Yeah.
so happy
Although they are
Mother's
watching
Day.
live, so they are aware of what day it is.
True, but for when it goes out on the audio, people won't.
Yes.
So happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. And I want to just take a little minute to remember my mum,
Yeah.
NannyAnn, the legend that is.
legend that
and it's
is.
the first Mother's Day we're not going to be with her this year. So yeah, it's a bit bittersweet, but certainly remembering her and the legend that she was. Just the funny legend.
Her crazy antics.
Would you remember #NannyAnn?
Oh my god.
So
yes.
my mum had this thing about effectively just making stuff up.
And then we used to carry it on, and whenever we finished what we were saying, we'd say #NannyAnn. So
Yeah.
I remember once I said NannyAnn invented the Colosseums and gladiator fighting so that she could not watch the men fight naked. #NannyAnn.
I think there's something she could have done.
Yeah.
I think there's something she could have done. She wasn't, however, 2,000 years old, so I doubt whether that was the case. Should we get on to our topics of the day?
Yes.
So our topics of the day today are noodles, books we plan to read in lockdown, and gaming theme tunes. What one do you want to cover first?
Well, let's go from top to bottom. Noodles first.
Noodles. Right, so unofficial question of the podcast viewers. What's the best plate of noodles you've ever had? And I reckon my one, plate bowl. How do you eat your noodles? I eat mine off the floor with two chopsticks.
Not during the coronavirus, you don't.
No, best plate of noodles.
Wait.
Best bowl, right?
Dish.
Best dish of noodles I've ever had, right? Japan.
Yes.
Our first night in Japan last year, it had, that I like a food with a boiled egg in, right?
yeah.
So this plate of noodles, ramen noodles in this like backstreet Tokyo bar, half a boiled egg, big bit of chicken breast, and just
Yeah, the little machine that you
oh, sorry. Yeah, all right, calm down. That was my coffee. That was nothing else. So, yeah, the machine, because you couldn't order over the counter. You had to go to the machine, give them your ticket, and then they delivered it to you. I still don't know what that's about. Do you?
My favourite noodles from Japan too. There was that little restaurant. We had a busy day. We were in Tokyo, I think. I'm not sure. And we were running around trying to find a place to eat, but we couldn't find one. So we went into one of the train stations, and it had like this multi-floored. We went up a floor, and there was this lovely little ramen place, and we ordered it, and there was soy and rice, and then there was this giant bowl of noodles and chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. I thought you were going to tell us how amazing the noodles were. You just told us this story about going into a station in Tokyo.
They were good.
They were good. They were good noodles. I think we've done noodles now, to be honest. Books we plan to read in lockdown. What books are you planning to read in lockdown?
The Odyssey.
Homer.
Yes.
Homer. Okay. Any others?
Well, I've got loads of books in my bag. There's a couple of Christies I haven't read. I've been rereading these books by Ray Morrell, Carry On and Wayward Son, because in pre-anticipation that hopefully because of the quarantine, the lockdown, she'll be able to write the third one faster.
Exactly. And we're doing a bit of writing as well, aren't we? So I've got a couple of business books. I'm reading Atomic Habits. And I'm reading, I can't remember the other book, but I've got a bunch of books that I might reread.
Yes.
The one that I was going to avoid was The Rats, which is probably not the one to like my move. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's about a horde of rats that eat people.
That sounds awesome!
It's actually an amazing book, but probably not one.
I was just thinking of the Pied Piper. He's blowing his little flute, and the rats are all going after people because he's blowing his flute.
Meant to be cheering people up. I don't know what's going on. That's books done, and then gaming theme tunes we haven't got time for because we've been talking about other stuff. This is called Small Business Shout Out.
Yep.
You got a jingle for it or not? Go on.
It'll be the same as all the others, just with different words.
Go on then.
No, it doesn't work. The phrasing just doesn't work.
Okay, we haven't got a jingle for it. If you want to mail us or... where can people get in touch with us?
Oh, we haven't done this. So, if you're watching this, you're obviously on our Facebook page, which is brilliant. But if you're not watching this and you're listening to this, you just search it in the Facebook bar, really. It's not that difficult, I don't think.
No.
I haven't tried it, but you know what. And then we're at Ola Kindness.
I don't know where to find this podcast.
No, I've been saying it.
Tens of thousands of subscribers. She just, I don't know.
I've been saying it every other week for 2 years, but no, I don't know how to do it. So at Ola Kindness on Twitter.
You can email us at holler@thekindnessproject.co.uk and you can find the now 115 episodes. Yes, we've been doing it that long. All on the website, all to download, listen to. And you can find us on all of the episodes on Spotify, iTunes, or your podcast receptacle of choice. I don't know. What's it called?
Spotify.
Yeah, anything. We're all over the show.
So you can app on Apple.
You can find us. Is it not called iTunes anymore?
It's separate from iTunes. It's a separate app. When you click on it, it's just a.
Didn't know.
It's just a box and it's purple and it has a little podcast icon. It's just a podcast underneath.
Amazing. Heidi's just mentioned live that she's currently working through the Noughts and Crosses book. Ooh. And they are I remember reading them a few years ago.
Well, I've still got it's yours and now it's mine. It's a thick copy and it's got most of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books in it.
Yeah.
I'm one in, and I've just started Restaurant at the End of the Universe.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. So let's give a shout out to some of the amazing work that small businesses are doing in the current climate. If you've got stories of businesses, particularly small ones, doing amazing work, we need to know, because we need to make sure that people who are helping in any way they can getting the credit for it. And we've had loads of people email us, jump on Facebook and let us know what people are doing. And the first one is from Serena Duffy, who why did I say like James Bond there? Serena Duffy, who mentioned a business called Dr. Domestic Plus. They're a cleaning company based in Upminster, and they're sending out packs to free of charge to anyone over 70 who has no family, and they've got eggs and potatoes. Effectively, they're building packs for people to make sure they're okay. So that's amazing work. Thank you so much, Kirsty Murphy, for doing that. Francis Barrett is so that businesses can promote themselves at this current time, because it's important that businesses keep going, right?
Yeah.
So she's opening a free social media strategy workshop on Monday to help small to medium businesses get hold of their social media strategy. With no obligations, no sign-ups, just really loads of valuable information. Kamal, who's a tutor and coach, she runs a business called Guided Learning, said, I'm offering 15-minute online sessions and a timetable that can be updated weekly with activities to incorporate into everyday life. It's good. Chris Laney is helping people via FaceTime and doing craft with ladies in their 70, 80, and very specifically 97. Sook from the Tandoori Lounge in Hornchurch is trying to get food to the elderly and to all A&E staff at Queen's Hospital, and they are doing amazing work, giving food for free to the elderly and to people who are working hard to help us. I absolutely love that.
Brilliant.
Michelle Darkett is doing all of her fitness workouts online, so she can support people stay fit. And big shout out to the guys at My Gym Squad who are doing the same. They're putting all of their stuff online so that people can support each other. Stephen Donovan, Steve is an amazing guy, very kind business owner, does sales. He's got an estate agent in Hornchurch. He's offering help to the local pharmacy by driving around prescriptions and medicine for people stuck at home. I mean,
good.
Look, Stevie's a really kind guy, so thanks Steve from everybody for doing that, and he's trying to help people who are in self-isolation by dropping off the basics. Tess Griggs from the Little Edie Foundation is, as a charity, we're able to source items which are low in stock, and that stuff is going out to food banks and includes baby food, nappies, Calpol, bars of soap, because the food bank can then dish it out to people who genuinely need it. Debbie Davidson said Peter Marino is doing cancelled theatre shows on Zoom from his apartment. So,
that's wicked.
do you like that one? I like the idea of that. Just imagine like a musical in some... No, you can do it, could you? Because you need more than one person. No, what you need is
a one-man show.
Exactly, yeah.
Black backdrop. Set the computer up here. I don't know how.
What are they going to do? What's a show? I don't know what that is. Yeah, they're gonna. Peter Marino, if you are listening, just let us know whether you're doing a whatever that is.
The general gist.
But Peter is doing his cancelled theatre shows on Zoom from his apartment, and he's did a live session to show people how to use Zoom, so that people just still get access to a bit of live theatre.
Yes.
So that's amazing stuff. So that's a lot of the work that businesses are doing. Good morning to Kerry and Tracy. Thanks for listening in. And Tracy's thing to be grateful for is keeping all my family and 9 grandchildren safe, which is amazing. Thanks for that. Thanks for that comment, Tracy. I really appreciate it. So, next on the Kindness Project Live, how's it going so far? What do you reckon?
I think we're on a roll.
We're on a roll, downhill, descent into madness.
Nothing to go on this at the moment.
And thank you to a very kind gentleman called Dave Forsdyke for setting this up. So Dave decided that while he was in lockdown and quarantine, he was going to do something called Silver Linings.
Yes.
So he was going to start collating all the positive stuff that was going on. So it was a bit like Kindness News. But we're now piggybacking off of Dave's content because we're going to share some of his silver linings. And Dave, thank you very much because you were kind enough to email me a bunch of these. So really appreciate that. So silver linings, this is the sort of good stuff that's happening out there. So there's a school near Gilford where all the sixth forms on the last day, because you had your last day, didn't you? How did you feel about it in the end?
It wasn't what I hoped for, but like we still did like all the good stuff. We did shirt signings. We sat and watched a movie. We had a little snack while we were doing shirt signings. And last period, the teachers put on music and we all danced around the sports hall.
What was the most embarrassing thing that got drawn on your shirt? Don't answer that because I know. It was like last days of Rome. It was madness what was going on. So anyway, near Gilford, all the sixth formers came in their prom dress and suits, and that was a great way to celebrate their last day at school. I can't get the image of that thing out of my mind. A village in Hampshire created a residence buddy system. All those over 60 are self-isolating, and they're budding with somebody under 60, and the under 60s are checking in on their buddies regularly. Love that idea. Absolutely love that idea. And getting supplies to them if needed. Facebook has got a coronavirus support network page. Certainly I've been reading it, and there's loads of really good support stuff on there, but also allows people to ask for help and people to offer help. I really like that. Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs, the ex-footballers, have opened up all their hotels for free to all NHS staff in case they need it, which is amazing work. And there's loads of fitness and yoga places that are opening up all 9. And Domino's are giving away on Friday free pizza to all NHS workers, which is amazing. Did I tell you, Domino's, that I'm an NHS worker? I'm not. I'm joking.
He works for himself.
So, what I want to do now is play you the second part of our interview with Deana Gao. Deana does amazing work connecting people who want to learn English in China with English people who are lonely in the UK. And it's really, really good stuff. We had an amazing chat last week, and the second part of the interview is right here, right now.
Yeah.
And the process of using the platform, you sort of log in, register. How's it work?
So the process is really simple for seniors. So at the beginning, I was mentioning to you that I had this idea five years ago, but I didn't put it in practice because I didn't know how.
Okay.
Because I didn't want seniors to have to learn how to use Zoom, how to use Skype, or how to use a smartphone, because lots of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair to them, and it's not scalable. So, so a few years ago, I was living in San Francisco, and I was like really inspired by all those apps and all those entrepreneurial app development and stuff. And then I realized that I really could use those modern technology to connect, to like simplify the connection, not to make it super difficult. So that's why the platform for seniors really simple. They log in on the website, urgelive.com, and they follow a few steps of signing up, choosing the time zone, choosing the hobby, and giving us their phone number. It doesn't matter if it's a landline, cell phone, or just these two, cell phone and landline number, and put it there, and then they're done. So all the rest. They're done. So all the rest is the Chinese and the student side will browse those profiles on the app, and then they will use the app to make a one-click call to the seniors on the cell phone and or their
Landline.
So the seniors they don't need to do any
Log on or do anything like that. Okay.
They don't need to learn any new technology. I mean, of course, if they want to. In the later stage and future, we want to maybe enroll some language buddy training programs for those seniors who still feel like they want to be more involved.
Engage, interactive. Yeah.
But if they don't want to, there's no pressure. They can just like be there and talk about the dogs for 20 minutes. That's fine.
Okay.
That's not happy. And so if that happens, maybe there will be some more of those technology involved and Skype and all that. But for the basic user, they do not need to learn any new technology and new stuff. So they just need to know how to answer a phone call.
Yes, yeah, just pick up the phone. What I'm interested in is your time in San Francisco, interestingly. So what did you learn, and being around Silicon Valley and learning from those tech entrepreneurs, what did you learn that you use in your business or your life today?
Wow, so much. And I think first is you really can't do everything with the modern technology. But also I think that's also a trade-off, because the modern technology really is more for the I hate to say that, it's more for younger people. So like the older generation are kind of isolated out of this tech scene.
Yeah.
And that's the first learning I've had. And the second one is there's this trend of disruptive technology, which is like changing the way people think.
Yeah.
And like Airbnb is a classic example. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say that, but they're just like disrupting the hotel business and disrupting the people's traveling experience, and really disrupting. And the other one is unite. So unite, we don't need to always disrupt. We can also unite.
Yes.
Using technology. And that was the biggest inspiration to me. And also, I just really enjoyed everyone had a dream. Everyone had a vision in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley. I mean, some of them are pretty strange. Some of them, but most of them are really inspiring and really, really interesting. I really enjoyed my time there.
It's probably quite an inspiring place, right? You know, because there is a lot of innovation going on, but as you say, it's trying to find ways to collaborate and be inclusive, as opposed to be, to exclude people. And I think we need, as you say, I think what you've got is that perspective from a culture that treats their elderly with a lot of respect, whereas I think sometimes in the Western world it's less so. But it's interesting.
It's possible. Like in Asia, even for now, doesn't matter who this person is. If I see a senior person in front of me, I automatically start to behave nicer than my peer, because I automatically stand more straight and be more it's just more aware that a senior person is in front of me. Yeah. And that to me is something is really into our blood.
Yeah, it's the culture's different, isn't it? Yeah. And what does the future hold for the program? Where would you like to see it in 3 years?
3 years. Oh, that's really good. I think in 3 years I would like to at least develop this program in full. I would like to get people really to use this platform. I don't want to put this in number because I'm Chinese, but I'm really bad at number. Okay. So I have my numbers guy. I think in 3 years' time, I would expect this project to be fully running and profitable. And also, I would be ready. I think I would be ready to move either to expand the region, which is my vision of expanding. It doesn't need to be English speaking; can be Japanese, because Japan has a huge senior problem. Can be Spanish, which is one of the largest populations.
Yeah, South America and
even Chinese, but the reason I did not do that is because Chinese language is pretty difficult, pretty complicated. We have all kind of crazy accent where, especially for history reasons, the seniors are not always good at Mandarin. Okay. So that will be a little bit more challenging, but it's still doable. So this one I would like to expand regionally. And second one is I would like to expand in the user base, which is the one I mentioned to you earlier. is to involve more of this financial system for seniors who are in need, and also expand to disabled people to join this program, not just seniors. So this is the two directions I would like to take to, and I think 3 years. If I would say the perfect world in 3 years' time, 3 years from now, I will be ready to take one of these two to the next level. That's my ideal.
Okay, amazing. And I know you run as you said, you run a few businesses as well. So tell us a little bit about, is it China Gravy, one of your main businesses? Help me understand about your business life.
Yes. So China Gravy is the money maker for now, which is sponsoring Air to Live and supporting Air to Live.
Yeah.
It is an online marketing agency that we help overseas companies that are interested in expanding to China to help them to do online marketing consultancy, where we work with education, real estate, and hospitality. These two industries will help them to do online marketing, online PR, and also some B2B connections as well. And that's the main business I have been running for since 2013.
Fine, amazing. So that's really good to know. So we've come to the end of the main interview. Okay, a couple of things that I want to pick up on. I'm desperate now to hear your London accent. So take it away. Off you go.
You put me on spot. My London accent is pretty bad, but I'm trying.
Okay. Look. So Deana, it's better than my Chinese, right? Let's be honest. That's. I'm trying to be as nice as possible. It's definitely better than my Chinese. But probably needs a tiny bit of improvement. Tiny bit of improvement. But you definitely need some Cockney rhyming slang in your life. So let me share you my favourite one. It's, are you having a bubble? Do you know what that means?
Are you having a bubble?
Yeah. So it means bubble bath for laugh. So are you having a bubble means, are you having a laugh?
Are you having a bubble bath? Okay, yeah, I get it. So are you having a laugh? Are you having fun?
Yeah, exactly. Are you having a bubble? Are you having a laugh?
I see. My question for that kind of rhyme is like it can go anywhere, like bubble bath laugh. That's the connection, right?
Well, it used to be bubble. This is the weird thing about Cockney rhyming slang, is it changes over time. So bubble used to mean Greek, because bubble and squeak is a food, a breakfast food, and bubble and squeak was his bubble, so he's Greek, and it's changed now so that it now means laugh. So it's a really, as language things go, it's a really strange thing.
That's a really cute one. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm still going to use this from now on with my British friends.
Good. And again, it's the weird thing is, like, the Cockney rhyming slang is only like very specific, like in areas of East London, which is weird. But yeah, thank you for sharing your East London Cockney rhyming slang.
Thank you for not picking on my London accent.
And what we do, just one extra thing before we finish, is one of the things we do on the podcast is at the end of every podcast and the start of every podcast, we ask questions. So we ask our audience questions. So it's called Question of the Podcast, and we ask our audience questions. So I'm just going to share with you some of those questions that I'd like you to answer. As I know you love baking, if you were to, one of the questions we asked our audiences a few weeks ago was, if you were to bake the ultimate cake, what would be in it?
bake mango cake.
Okay.
I would do mango. I would do mango almond. Are you asking about recipe or just the name of the cake?
But it needs to be the best cake you've ever made. So would it be like 5 tiers? Would it be like what the most people have got to walk in the room? So on, you know that show I was talking about, Great British Bake Off? They have a cake at the end called the Showstopper, and it's this massive elaborate cake. So what would be the elaborate cake that you'd make?
I would do mango cake for sure.
Mango, right? Okay, fair enough. No, that's good. Tell us. I know. You said at the start you had a fun fact about you. Tell us a fun fact about the world that is just your favourite thing to share.
I was just talking to a friend of mine today.
Okay.
One of my favorite country is Cuba.
Okay.
And in Cuba, there's a really beautiful scene where there's a road. I mean, this probably happens in lots of places, but this is really unique. Which in Havana, there's a road built alongside the seaside, and the road is it's not too high up to the seaside, and
okay.
The waves sometimes can be really, really, really strong.
Yep.
And you know those old classic Cuban car?
Okay. Yes.
And that's the thing I will never forget is when you sit in a cafe in front of that road, like 2 or 3 floors up, and the waves come to the road and
right.
the curb, and like all those waves get into the vintage, really old Cuban car, and you're listening to Cuban music.
That is an amazing sight. That's an amazing sight. I love that about travel. You know what? There's if you walk along the River Seine in Paris, there's a part along the river where the senior citizens, the Parisian senior citizens, go and tango dance, and it's one of the most romantic, beautiful sights I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. It's amazing. So next time you're in Paris...
I'm actually going to Paris in a few months, so
cool.
I'm going to see that for sure.
Okay, so I know you've done a lot of travelling. One of the questions we asked our audience recently is, where in the world haven't you been that you'd still love to go?
Where the place I want to go, but I still haven't gone. South Africa.
Oh, South Africa's amazing. I was in Cape Town a few years ago, and it's a really interesting place. Loved it. Yeah.
It's so fascinating to me, South Africa, the whole country, the culture, and everything is just like a really, really fascinating country to me, which I have not had the chance to go yet.
What's your favourite country in the world apart from China?
Cuba.
Okay, Cuba. And what's the best thing about where you live?
Hot pot.
What was that?
It's our food, because I don't know if you had Sichuan food, which is one of the best cuisine in China, and hot pot is the signature food in Sichuan.
Hot pot.
Hot pot.
Hot pot, amazing. Right, I'm looking that up. That's brilliant.
So you can go.
I will do. Now I know you're so good at recipes, I might have to give you a call. You know, it'd be good. What's your favourite work of art? What piece of art do you love?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
What's your favourite work of art? Painting, drawing, sculpture.
I don't know the name of the artist, and others two actually, they're both in France, but I really don't remember the name of the artist.
Okay.
One of them is a sculpture where it's always transparent.
Okay.
The sculpture is holding. There's a theory. There's a few of different the same theory of those sculpture where the sculpture is outside, displayed outside, and they're transparent, made by copper.
Okay.
And lifting the suitcase, standing, walking in the seaside.
Yes. Yeah.
The one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think pretty famous, and that was in France. And the painting wise, I love one that the painter. Again, I'm really bad on memorizing French names, but this person is a painter in Nice. He has his own gallery, and what he does is just is oil painting, which is full of colors. Like all that painting was just layers of those oil paintings. But it looks really, really, really beautiful. Amazing.
No, that's really good. And last question: what does an ideal Sunday morning look like to you? So it's Sunday morning. You're relaxing. There's no work. You're getting to relax. What do you spend your time doing?
I'll change that. Mango cake and my own illy coffee, and sitting on the balcony and drinking my coffee and watching the city light.
So
like the city.
So just watching the world go by, sitting on your balcony. Hello? Deana, I think I've lost you. Oh. Hi, Deana, I lost you there. Can you hear me again?
I can hear you.
Oh, cool. Okay, no, that's fine. We're at the end now anyway, so I'm just gonna say goodbye. So let me just do that now. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast, Deana. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story. Oh, there you are. Sharing your story and talking to us about the amazing work you do.
Thank you very much for having me. I really had a good time talking with you and being here.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
So that was the second part of the interview with Deana. What did you think?
It's good.
It's good, wasn't it? Shall we get on with the show?
Let's go.
So episode of the day. So what I'm going to do now is move on to an episode that I think is really important to mention that we recorded quite a long while ago now. So it's episode 58 and 59.
Yes.
We interviewed a guy called Jason Connon. And Jason runs a insurance business, but he does something with Age UK. And what he does is something called befriending.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think I was there for that interview.
Okay.
I think I might have been. Can't remember.
Okay. I think you were. Do you want to tell us about befriending then, or can't you remember?
Well, was it the guy we spoke to and we were talking about him and he was friends with the older woman?
Yeah.
Because they both liked, I think it was the Beatles.
Yeah.
And it paired them up because they both liked the Beatles. And
Yeah. So Jason got involved with Age UK through who he worked with, and what they said is, what we're going to do is partner you up with somebody who just wants a bit of company. And what they did was partner him up with a lady in Liverpool. I can't remember her name, but a lady in Liverpool. And they speak 2 hours a week, every single week.
Yeah.
Just to stay in touch and just so she's got somebody to chat with. Because loneliness in older people is quite a challenge, and particularly...
unfortunately quite common as well.
And something I think we need to make sure that we're aware of now. So I think it's important to pick up the phone and just talk to not only the people you love, but people who might need it at this time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Jason does amazing work, phones this lady every week, and I'd recommend that you give those episodes a listen because they're all pretty good.
They are, yes.
They are pretty good. So give those a listen and let us know what you think. 'Tis nearly the end. Do you want to do your thing?
'Tis the end of another podcast. podcast.
But the end's never the end, because what we like to do is talk about the answers we've had for the question of the podcast. Now, weirdly, normally what we do is we answer last week's question of the podcast this week.
Last week, this week.
But on this one, and because we're live, we're going to answer this week's question of the podcast this week. Mm-hmm. So, answer to the question, what in life are you grateful for? We had loads of really good answers, and we still Facebook Live want yours. Hazel Grace said life, family and friendships. Alison Hagan said, I'm grateful for my dog.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my dog, as long as he doesn't poo in the house. Rachel Fennessy said, my health and my family. Al McCann to just being here. Francis Barrett said, the people in my support network. And I think it's really important that we remember that we're all, in times like this, we should all be here for each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'll be there for you.
I don't like that show.
Don't you?
No.
What's the matter with Friends?
Have you seen the first episode? Have you watched it without a laugh track?
But you know what? I'm like that with the Big Bang Theory. I've stopped enjoying the Big Bang Theory because somebody said watch it without a laugh track and see how funny it is.
The IT crunch.
And it's not. It's not. Annie Flowers said my health, and Judith Hitchin said grateful that it's the weekend. It's been a long week. Heidi Ball said I haven't just woken up after a night shift. She's grateful for sleep, a job I love, my darling hubby picking up the kids from school, and the school themselves. It just hit me. There's no more school, and I'm still on night shifts until Monday. Things got really interesting. Phil Bray said, lovely picnic today with the kids and the grandparents. We live in separate houses, so kept our distance, but it was lovely to be with each other.
Aww. And
I think Zoom and Skype and other like sort of ways to stay in touch with people are available, are going to be really valuable currently. You know,
we're going to make a lot of money probably.
Zoom is like the Zoom are like cha-ching. We're like, yeah.
I want to learn about us till this year.
Oh, no, I've used Zoom for ages. It's amazing. Other video calling platforms are available. Not as good as Zoom, but that's not the point. Serena Taylor said, I had 1.5 tonnes of hygiene product donations delivered yesterday, and they're to be distributed straight out to our charity partners. Thanks for sharing that, Serena. Amazing work. Really appreciate it. And Hazel Grace said, my mum's laugh. You know what's weird? That's one of the things I miss the most about my mum. Just listening to her laugh. So it's thanks for mentioning that. Eve Keith said, I'm massively grateful for everybody in the NHS. And Ollie, am I Ollie? Fist bump for Ollie. Watcher Ollie said, I'm grateful for having a roof and a bed, and I can't imagine what the situation is like for the homeless. Tony Simmons said that my children have grown up into healthy, happy, sensible young adults. When does that happen then?
Sensible.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to grow up sensible?
Not in this house. Not quite sure how we manage that without an instruction manual. And Tess Griggs is grateful for sunshine. So, my friends, that is good morning, Gary. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. And that, my friends, is the end.
The end.
It's almost the end. What?
Yeah, we missed it.
Well, go on then. What have we missed?
Well, you have told me that I have to introduce a new segment. We're introducing a joke. A terrible joke for you guys.
This is going to be bad. This is just going to be bad.
This was your idea, so...
I said, get some joke research. I expected the standard to be a little bit higher, but go on, do it.
No, I love terrible jokes, because they're just great.
Go on then.
So, this is probably going to be terrible, and you're probably going to... What did the fish say when he ran...
You're probably going to what? What did the fish say? Go on, start.
What did the fish say when he swam into a wall?
I don't know.
Oh, damn.
And that, my friends, is truly the end. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, sorry, bright and early tomorrow morning. We're going to try and do this every single day at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Whilst we're able to stand Charlotte's jokes. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Have a really good Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. So that was our first ever live episode and an interview with Deana in the middle.
Yes.
Hope you really enjoyed that. And we'll let you know what's happening with the Kindness Project podcast coming soon. Expect to hear from us shortly.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.